有了吗？Marco Raps
有吗？
Marco Rap
我这儿为啥看不到？
没有在我的后台。
我去，
你看到了吗？
没有。
What happened? 哦。是太慢了吗？还是怎么着？
我这个清晰度别调太高是吧？影响速度。
Hello. Hello guys, can you hear me? I hope the audio issue is solved this time.
好像不行了。我这边听到了吗？
我没有信号。这个网速不行，网速不行。
现在才能听到，你刚才说是太慢了吗？延迟比较厉害。
但是我这块网速看上去没有问题。
我现在在听。
You are not receiving enough video for smooth streaming.
哦，好像好点了，只是延迟。是比较清晰的，你可以听一下。
哦，没事，你帮我听着吧。如果不行，那你就告诉我。Loud and clear. Good. Okay, thank you for coming to the second live stream of Tiertime. Today we will mainly introduce our new Up Studio 3 slicer software and also provide a lot of big discounts for the audience today. And I'm sorry that there was some technical issue yesterday, so the live stream moved to today. And I still see quite a number of audience today. Thank you. Okay, no more delay. We can start now. Or we can. I also need to tell you a little bit about today's how we give out the coupons. So as I am doing the tutorial of the Up Studio 3, maybe in the middle, we will type the coupon onto the live chat channel, and then so you can fill up the coupon to the shopping cart. Also, we will also tell you how to use the coupon, and then do we need to prepare the cart? Yeah, something like a few seconds for some time for you to set up the cart, and then we will tell you when we are going to activate the coupon, and then you can try buy with the discount. Okay? Also, if you have any questions during the whole tutorial section, you can also type into the live chat channel so that I can answer the questions while answer the audience question, people's question. Okay, let's start. Okay, the first thing we going to go through is how to connect to the printers in the new software. Okay, let's see. So, okay, now we have a UpStudio 3 here. Right, this is a completely remade software. Basically, it is a UpStudio 2 with more flexibility. So we can see on the top bar here we have some basic infos about like the printer model. You can choose a printer model here. And unlike UpStudio 2, you need to actually connect to the printer. In the 3.0 version, you do not need to connect to the printer, so that you can select any printer model of Tiertime, or your custom model. Now we use the UP300 to set up the nozzle diameter, and then set up the material type. You can see that I have two material types here because in the future we are going to release dual extrusion machines. So the software now support two materials. And here is the layer thickness. Also, you can see while I choose some options on the top, here we have some logs here for your informations. And then let's try connect to the machine. So in this vertical bar, we have a lot of icons here. The connect machine is actually this icon. So I know a lot of users are complained about, you know, the icon is not very clear. It looks like grayed out, or they cannot understand what it does. We will improve the interface in the future. So I've already opened it. Okay. Now we open this called wand module. The wand module is actually a individual software which is independent of the UpStudio now. It actually we extract a lot of the printer related functions of UpStudio 2.6 into a new software, so that all the printer connecting and the printer setup, calibrate from the UpStudio 3 here. I can click here and then print. If I click print now, if there is any file already sliced on the print space, then it will be sent to the wand module for printing. Okay, now I will go back to the wand and go through some of the printer calibration functions. So maybe I try to click here, the height detect.有什么问题吗？
没啥问题，就设了临时。
somehow this field cannot be added with a keyboard. So if you want to change the value, currently you have to use plus and minus button. And finally, this button, auto detect, is made for the machines that have auto nozzle height detection functions, which such as the Cetus with the auto leveling probe 300. Okay. Okay, so I hope the video connection is back now.
是不是应该再往前倒回去再讲讲？停了2、3分钟。
嗯哼。I'm wondering, actually, do you have any questions? Regarding this part of the software, or you have any suggestions? Also welcome to input to the live chat, so we will forward to our development team. Mm-mm. 这个，
基础的是吗？
对，这个可能是跟机器有关，不是软件吧。Okay. Now we go back to the Up Studio, and we will talk about the interface and the slicing functions for now. Okay, now we can load a new file. I load this this engine model, this engine benchmark, developed by a YouTube author called Sunshine. This is a very interesting model that if your printer setting is not tuned well, then this print-in-place engine will very likely not able to move. But if you tune the file, tune the setting, tune in the setting, then this model will actually able to move and like a real engine, which is quite interesting. So I print a lot of these in the past few days. Okay. So I hope actually this is not very difficult to understand for the vertical bar. So from the basic of the interface, we can just left click and drag the mouse, which you can change the angle of view. And then you right click and drag the mouse. Then you will able to move the view, the print space. And then you scroll, the mouse wheel will magnify and minify the view as well. And then we click this, we can try to, this is called a slice model. This is a preview, these two are very similar. But the preview only do partial calculations. The slice do a complete calculation. The preview is actually a little bit faster than the slice, but it will not show some of the slice toolpath function info, such as the sim location. It's not shown in the preview. And then we try to click this move. Then you will see these icons, these arrow icons. When you see these arrow icons, you can right click on the model and drag it, so it will move along the platform. Sorry. Or you can also use this small keypad here to move it by these buttons. Like if I want to move Z-axis 50 millimeters up or 50 millimeters down, or I can use this button, move to platform, which means I click this button and then I choose a specific surface. The surface will be moved to become the bottom surface. I will show it here. Uh-oh. Somehow it is not working for this model. Oh, sorry, it is not here. It's not in the move. It's in the rotation here, this one. As you can see here, I highlight the surface, and this surface will become the bottom surface. Click here again, and click the bottom, and it become the bottom surface. This bottom is not activated yet. This is likely, yeah. This bottom is not the is a different function. Has a different function which actually move down the model to the platform surface. Well, this rotation button give the bottom surface function. Scale. These are basically very similar to the UpStudio 2, so I won't go through all this. I just need to mention a little bit about this newly developed view options that you can check the different kind of surface views. You can see these polygons, or you can make it transparent. I think the polygon view is quite useful because actually these polygons also affect the sim locations. So if you have a very evenly distributed polygons for a symmetric model, then the sims are very likely to be well aligned. But if your polygons is very messy and not evenly distributed, then the sim locations will also difficult to align into a good looking pattern. So and then here is the cross-sectional view, but the cross-sectional view is a buggy function. It's quite buggy for now. As you can see that even I try to slide on the slider bar, there's nothing happens because this function is very dependent on the display card. I think the display card need to support a particular library of a particular programming library, something like that. So even in our company, only a few high config computer can activate this function for now. The development team is still working on how to make it work on most computers. And then here is the fixed error. The fixed error function is very basic, and not actually I don't recommend you to use it because it's probably not going to fix a little bit more complicated issues. This is the merge function, same as UpStudio. This is the support editor. Also similar to UpStudio 2, but I will go through this later. Here's the go back. This is reset the model as it loaded. Also, if we right click on the model, you will also see some new options here. I think one thing that is quite useful is model info. So if you click the model info in the log, you will see the size of the model and the location of the model and some of the maximum minimum coordinates of this model. So if you want to scale the model to a particular size, right now you maybe need to first scale it down something and then use the model info to tell you the actual size of the model. Okay, now, so the general interface is like this, and on the top right corner, all these buttons are not functional for now. Also here in this in the bottom, I don't know if you can see here. In the bottom, we have a command input field. So when you click this small arrow, you will open up a whole list of commands, which most of them are represented in the main menu already. But some of these are quite useful as well if you know how to use them. So here I introduce one because myself also not very familiar for a lot of these commands, but I can show you one useful one. It's called decompose. So use this function, decompose. Then I can split the model into multiple bodies. As you can see, this model actually contains 4 different bodies, which now are split into individual models already. 能帮我倒点水吗？谢谢。
有一些问题。
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. As you can see now, we have split the model into four different bodies, but actually for this body 3 and body 4, which are too small to see, probably not able to see them. So I can just delete them. Okay, now for this model, we split it into two parts, the piston and the cylinder. Now I can introduce you the print settings. So when we click this gear icon, we open up the print settings. The print settings has several levels. We have the basic, and then we click once, then go to the advanced. We open up new options, and then click one more time. Open up all the possible options we can use in the software. You may be a little bit overwhelmed for the first time when you go into the expert interface, but I can show you some of these basic settings, and most of them are not really important, but can help you fine-tune the prints. One thing I want to especially talk about is actually the entities. As you can see, we have this entity. Oh, sorry. We have this entity ID and different names, and also assigned with a value. The names are perimeter, inner perimeter, top, bottom, infill, support, raft. All these entities actually represent a certain part of the print. Well, when this model is not sliced, then we can see all these entities. But if first I will hide one of the model, and then I try to do a slice. Then now we have this two path preview, and in this entity section we will able to see different entities. For example, this blue line is corresponding to the perimeter, and the green line is the inner perimeter. And this brown line are the supports, and the yellow line is the top. So these entities, why I'm talking about these entities, because in the Ops Studio 3, each model is actually consist, when printed, they are consist by the two paths of the entities. So all the entities combined become the print object. Or we can also, in other words, we can individually control these entities with different parameters and different print heads in UpStudio 3. So this is give user a lot of rooms to fine-tune the models, to fine-tune the prints. Okay. Now we can temporarily go, and then we can see that when we do a slicing, we click the slice button, a new file is generated. This file will be saved to the same folder of the STL file. And this file can be showed and hide, or you can switch between the model view or the layer view, or both the model and the layer. This could help you preview the two paths and compare to the real model. For example, I can try to use this transparent view, and then I will see how the two paths align with the STL file. So this gives you more perspective for inspection. Or I can just delete the two paths for now. Now we can talk about all these settings. So basically, all these settings are also structured based on the entities. For example, we can see top, support, raft, and under this and path width, like for the top and bottom, we have their corresponding settings. Support, we have their corresponding settings. And raft, we have their raft settings. Under the path, we have these perimeter settings. And we have the infill settings here. So actually all the settings are also structured based on entities. And also from here, we can see there is a plus and minus button here. For this is because when we click this little arrow, we will see a number of options here. These are preset options, like 0.1, 0.15. These are layer thickness, preset in the software. You can use them. As you can see, when you choose different options, these numbers will change. Also, it will also affect these numbers. But you can also set up your own settings of the quality, for the layer thickness. So you can just click plus and then give it a new name, like 0.0, like 7. And then I can try copy from one of the settings here, just like the UpStudio 2 custom material. For example, copy this one, and then it will give me the default value of the setting I copied. And then now I can change these values, like like this. Something like that, and then apply, and then now I have these new settings here. So this is quite convenient for users who have their own settings. They can quickly switch between a subset of different quality settings. Similarly, like this, we have also other in the print section. We have this speed option. Now we have the default fine, normal, fast, turbo. But if you have your own speed settings, you can also make a new one, like custom speed, and copy from the fast, apply. Then now, as you can see, I have this custom subset of speed settings. So when I choose this one, when I choose the fine, because you can see all these values changed, and I choose the custom speed, and then all these values changed. It's a very quick way for you to switch between different subset of speed settings. So, similarly, in the filament section, you can do the same for the different materials. So this is the subset of the functions of the print settings. One thing I need to also mention that in the Studio 3, we would also like to reproduce the plug and play effect, like the plug and play user experience in Studio 2. So how do we do this? As you can see, we have so many settings, and it could be very overwhelming for the users at the beginning. Of course, you can switch to the basic mode, and then just choose the value here, the available values here. Then you are okay. Also, you have to know that if you go to expert mode, and then if I connect to the printer, you will see this log line here, set matched parameter, material PLA, blah blah blah, something like that. This is telling you that actually your print setting is being updated, and the print setting is set to a default setting because you use the default print material PLA. So what does that mean? So which means if I set up something like the path width, like this, and then apply, and then I connect the printer again, you can see the path width being updated to the original value. So actually the software is updating the value to a default optimized values for now. This is what you have to know. So the only way to not allow the software to update their values is that you have to create a new material here. You need to create a new material called, for example, custom PLA. and then I copy from this one. Apply. So as soon as you create a new material, and then you choose the material here, custom pre-array, and then whatever settings you changed here will not be updated anymore. The settings will remain what you have set. If you use the custom, the default material settings, and then you use default printer and their default, and then when you try to connect to the printer, this and the software actually found that, oh, I have a default setting that matching all these values, and then all these values here, the path width, the print speed, and some of the key settings will be updated to default value. But if you use your custom material, since the software cannot match anything under this name, so they will not update any settings. So you can still use your own settings. So this function sometimes is quite confusing for new users. Okay, now since I received a lot of questions, now I think I can answer them a little bit. For now, these icons does have these little hints. Okay, Bruce. Hello, Bruce. Bruce asked if I roll over these icons. Can they show these little hints? Yes. They have these extended comments around these icons. Also here we see some short explanation about what they do in these options. Also, we have update the user guide for the UpToDo 3 in the knowledge base as well. So you can go to support.tiertime.com and go to the software section. We have a very comprehensive article collections explaining the options, the interface, and everything. I got beta. My version a little different. Yes, my version is a little bit more advanced than the currently released one, which is 3.0.13. I think the released one is 3.0.11. Mainly fix some bugs, no new functions. Just maybe in the interface we have some new little small icons, some new icons here for better user experience. Basically, it's the same software. Does anyone know why there are two slice buttons? Yes, as I mentioned, that two slice buttons. This one is the complete slice, and the second one, the one below it, is the preview. The preview slice a little bit faster, but will generate less information. Only give you two paths, and missing out the sim locations. So for the process, I have one cool height detect. 下面还有吗 ？Ratio values. For now, the wand cannot accept G-code yet. So I see that someone tried to import the G-code. It will not work for now, but it will be a usable function in the future. G-code will be supported. A little bit like delay mode. I can't connect.这个不管了，再往上走，还有没有 ？Click to print for beginners. Yeah, for beginners. Okay, so since the interface changed a lot, for beginners, the first thing I recommend is go to the basic function, the basic mode. You can see that in the basic mode, the options are very similar to UpStudio 2. You have this layer thickness, you want wrap or not, you want the support function is grayed out, cannot change. By default, you have to use support. You can choose infill density. You can choose the speed, and that's it. If you want to change more, then you have to go to the advanced mode. If you want the full control, then go to expert mode. Or even for the beginners, if they want to use expert mode and they would like to change something that is more advanced, it's also possible. But one thing have to bear in mind that I just told you, the software will auto update some of the values in here that the new users may not aware of. So the first thing to use the expert mode is to make your own new material, set up a new custom material, and then use this material for your own material settings and your own slide settings. Do not just edit using the default material, because if you edit something in the default and when the printer connects to the software will auto refresh the settings to the default values. So you may think that you have changed the values, but actually you are not. Yeah, that's my advice for the new users. Apart from that, this is actually not really that difficult to understand. Mainly, the main settings are in the slice and the path and print tabs. The extruder, the printer tab is for defining a printer, which is not really useful for now because we do not support third-party printers for now. The extruder tab is also only for the dual extrusion machines. If you are using single extruder machines, then you do not need to use the extruder tab. The script function is also for advanced user as well. So if you want to insert a certain function during the print, then you can use the script. But for beginners, if you have nothing to do with this custom insertion of G-code, then there's no need to consider about the script. And the only thing here, the material setting, is very important because you have to able to define your own material, and then you have to know the material temperatures, speed ratio. This speed ratio is also very important because the speed ratio affects all the speed related settings. So if I change the speed ratio to 0.9, this means all the speed settings here will have this coefficient multiplied. Therefore, the speed ratio thing affects all the speeds at the same time. This is a very convenient and powerful way to control the speed. But if you want a more granular control of the print speeds, then you can go to here. You can control the speed of individual entities, those entities I mentioned before, such as the perimeter speed, infill speed, things like that. Okay. How can you print very thin walls with gaps between walls so the wall is closed? Okay. Bruce also asked a question about how can you fill up the gaps. So I have to say that there is no dynamic path width in the Up Studio 3 for now. What I mean dynamic path width is that the software will know the gap between the wall and then adjust the path width to fill up the wall. For now, there's no such function, but the development team is aware of this and they are trying to develop the dynamic path width. So for now, if you tell me that you have a thin wall, you have an you have two perimeters, and in the gap, you found there's an empty gap there. So this is due to the fact that the gap width is not a multiple of the path width. Therefore, either the printer will fill up the gap, or it will leave out the space that is not a complete multiple. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. So if the path width is dynamic, then it will adjust the path width to fill up just the gap. But for now it is not dynamic, so it can either fill out a complete path width or it leave it out. So that's why you see some of the gap in the walls. So my advice for adjusting to fill up the wall is you have to adjust the path width by yourself and do experiments. If you really mind that there are small gaps in some of the structures or some of the walls. But don't worry, we are working on it. Okay, the next thing we are going to talk about is a new function that is not presented in Up Studio 2, which is called the sections, the vertical sections. So if you click this small arrow here, then we'll open up more new options and buttons here. You can see the model's info, and here we see this plus button, and we click this plus button will open up an interface to allow us to choose a particular section of the model. For example, I choose this section, or I can type in a particular number, like 12, and then click OK. And as you can see, I have a gear icon beside this section. Now I click this gear icon, I will open up a individual print settings for just this section I just chose. As you can see, I can set the perimeter, I can set the layer thickness, I can set the path width. So all this just for this section. I can also open up another section here. I can also set up a completely different print settings, such as 哎，又回去了 OK 了 OK
不行，看到吗？
so after so how about we give out some coupons for now.
I think we can give some coupons for CPAS and K3.
Okay, we are now going to give out some discount coupons for the Cetus Mark III. So this Cetus Mark, this is a Cetus Mark III extended, Cetus Mark III extended coupon. This coupon will give you how much discount?
150.
Okay, $150 off from the current price. So this is a lot of discount, and we have a very limited number of use of use for the coupon. So this coupon can only be used for how many times?
5 times.
5 times, yeah. So we will now release we now release this coupon, and then you can now set up your shopping cart if you want to buy a Cetus extended model with $150 off. And then we will also tell you when we are going to activate the coupon. So the coupon for now is not activated yet, but you can try set up your cart now if you want to buy. We are going to activate it soon, very soon.
This coupon has been valid now.
Valid now?
Yes.
Okay, the coupon is now activated. So activate 这么快
它本来就是那个的。
Okay. Okay, the coupon is now activated. If you want to buy, then you can buy now. Otherwise, it may not. It will expire soon because we only give it 5 times of use. All right. Oh, talked for so long. Okay, next we will now we'll go faster. We'll go to the next part, which I will talk about the child models. For child models, let's use this model. Use this plus button, which you can add a child model. A child model by default, you can use a cube, a sphere, or cylinder, or a custom STR file at your choice. Now I just use a cube. The child model is load like this, and then we can move it like a completely individual model here. All right, so the child model is now overlapped to this actual model. So what the child model does is that you can use this option as union, subtract, or affect the infill. So if you use union, and then we try to do a slice. Oh, sorry, I will choose this one. And as you can see, that the child model actually fills with its parent model. It just fills. It's a union, means fuse together. If I use this subtract, and then the child model actually subtract the overlap section. So the part that overlapped is being deleted in the toolpath and will not be printed. And also you notice that the deleted part is not going to be supported by any support structures. The child model is completely free of support. or we can try to use this infill, like you can choose to adjust the infill of this structure, or overlap structure here. But this may not be very obvious. Let's try the 0%. As you can see, the model does not affect the two paths, but only affect the infill. But here we cannot see any difference because the wall is too thin. We don't see any change of the infill because this is already 0%. Maybe this is not a very good example. Try another one. This one. Oops, what happened? Sorry. Okay. So what the child model does is it can make adjustments in a three-dimensional way. So instead of like the sectional views, the sections, you only adjust the values in vertical sections. The child model is actually more powerful, that you can adjust certain, maybe but for now you can only adjust the infill. You can adjust the infill in a three-dimensional way. Also, you can use a child model, like you want to add a support somewhere specifically, or you want to delete a little bit from a model. It is also very convenient. Now we can see the difference after I scale up the model. You can see that this section is affected by the child model, and infill becomes 0%. There's no infill here, but on the area that are not overlapped by the child model, you still have the normal infills. Okay. Of course, alternatively, you can change the infill percentage to 100%, and then we try again. Now we see that the infill of the overlapped area become 100%, but the area that are not overlapped are just normal infills, same as what you have set here. So this also provide a lot more new possibilities for like strengthening a particular part of the model. Okay. Okay, since I also now we have also accumulated more questions now, so I have to answer some of them. Does the software work also for older up printers? Yep, for the printers which are very old, which are too old, the Up Studio 3 are still not supporting, because we found that with recently we found that with the firmware version 322 or earlier, the software will cause the printer to pause randomly, just like the Up Studio 2.6. So for these very old printers, we still now recommend users to use the Up Studio 2.5 for normal printing. But we are still working on the backward compatibility issue now. The aim is to support all the old printers, but for now, we can only support up to a certain range. So if you, we will later release a firmware version number. So before that version number of CPU, the new software is currently cannot be supported. But after that, we will be supported. I think all the printers that are less than 5 years should be supported with no problem. Transfer custom material. So one user asked to transfer custom material from Up Studio 2 to Up Studio 3. Currently, there is no way to do the conversion. But actually, the setting structures are very similar in Up Studio 2 to Up Studio 3. So if you can maybe you can do a screenshot and then reset up all the values based on the screenshot. I think that could be possible, because there are lots of settings in Up Studio 2 are hidden or are not shown, but in Up Studio 3 we may have changed those settings into a different form, so they are not completely easily convertible for now. Why is my cat drawing in solid edge has to expand by scale 27%? So why the cat drawing? Okay, and a user colon 30 asked the cat drawing size being changed. Actually, I don't know about why it is changed for 27%, but in the Up Studio 3 we have this new option called the unit inch here. If I click this one, if I click the unit inch, then all the models will be treated as they are sized in inch format. So therefore, if your model is modeled in like mattress in millimeters, and then if you with this option on, then the model will be extremely small, I think. I'm not sure, but this function is now available because some users actually make their modeling in imperial units, and it's very annoying for them to change the unit scale in Up Studio 2 every time they load a model. So that we developed this one. So for the imperial units, when you have this option checked, and all the models will be imported with the right scale for now. 什么 James in the Windows software I did not have to do even over so I work with 下一个问题吧。Ethernet. Will the Ethernet wire available for future on Theta 3D? I'm not really sure because Theta is a budget model, but in our other new models which embed with Linux system, all of them should have the Ethernet connection, such as up 300 and future models. But for Cetus, I think Ethernet connection probably not going to happen. But the Cetus already support Wi-Fi, so I think it already had enough networking function for now. So do we need to give out another round of coupons?
I think now we can give coupon for Theta's extended deluxe.
Okay, we will give out a deluxe version of the Cetus coupon. So this coupon provide $224 off, and also can be used for 5 times. So if you want to buy a deluxe version, and this is the right time to get it. Is it activated already?
Yes.
Okay, the coupon is activated already. So if you want to buy the deluxe extended Cetus, set up your cart right now with this coupon. Only limited number available. Okay. Oh, okay. So also I have this question that with dual extruder for the support material, do you have a support saving mode? What do you mean by support saving mode? So the main support is printed by the main material, but only the interface of the support is printed by the soluble support. So I suppose this is the support saving mode. I think yes. So this can be simply achieved by assigning the corresponding entity to the second extruder. For example, I can show you how to do that right here. Now I choose to up 300. Up 300, and then I can auto place, scale this up a little bit. And then I go to the extruder. Now I activate the extruder 2. So the extruder 2, now I have 2 material options now. The first one, I think I use the custom PRA. The second one, I use the PVA. This is extruder 1 material. This is extruder 2 material. infill. Oh, I don't see the interface dense layer option here right now. So I think, sorry for this version, there is no support saving mode for now. But it is possible. So we can add a new entity in the later versions called the support dense layer, and we use the support dense layer for the second extruder. So for example, this is the support dense layer. Suppose this is a support dense layer, and we have this entity ID of 2100, and then we go to extruder 2, and I input this value under the extruder 2. Now it is already under extruder 2, but I can change the support 2000, delete the 2000, and add the entity 2000 here, and click apply. Then the resulting slice, currently it will not show which path is made by which extruder, but under such settings, we will now print the support in the extruder 1 material, and then print the raft and the support dense layer, which here and here with the extruder 2. So I think this is basically the support saving mode, correct? But this is not possible yet, but it is a easily achievable function in the future versions. So as you can see that actually placing the entity ID numbers into the extruder's entity ID field actually means assigning the corresponding entity to be printed by the extruder. Therefore, we will able to let different extruder to print different parts of the model. This is how dual extrusion happens in the Up Studio 3. Okay, I will also show you some of the dual extrusion samples we have made in the previous few months. But for now, I will show you the last parts of this tutorial. This is the support editor. Okay, now I click the support editor here, and you can see that we have these orange columns appeared under the model. These orange columns are the representation of the supports based on the support settings here, which are the same as your print setting. If I change support setting like 90 degree, as you can see, the orange column will change dynamically based on the settings. I can use this enable all or disable all function to turn on or off these columns. When I turn on or off these columns, that means I turn on or off the supports that are represented by the column. And I can use clear to clear all of them, or I can use reset to get them back, to reset them to the default based on the calculation of these basic support values. This is very handy and very similar to the UpStudio 2.6 as well. And on the model, I can also select an individual one, and then I click Enable, Disable. Then I can just disable a particular support column here, or I can click on the service to enable it again, so that you can selectively activate or inactivate the supports to customize the support settings. And one of the new function here is called the filter of supports. So what does this do? Let's try it out. Support filters. These filters is actually let you to choose a particular subset of supports. For example, you can choose surface support, or edge support, or point support. For example, but in this model, we do not have edge support or point support. All the supports are surface-based supports. And we can also look for enabled or disabled supports. If you try to use click the disabled, we can see these two surface, these dark columns are disabled supports. You can see them clearly here. And we try enable, then these orange columns appear. And then we can see these coordinates here and the area threshold. The area threshold is easy to understand, so I can choose for the support surface with a certain area value. And for the X, Y, Z, these are representing the coordinates of the location of the support. For example, I would like to choose supports that only go up to a certain height. For example, I want to choose like 10 millimeters, around 10 millimeters. Now you can see that only supports lower than 10 millimeter will appear. I can choose more, and higher, higher and higher, and more support will appear here. Then click OK. Then we will only choose these supports. Only these filtered supports will appear in the model. And if we try do a slicing, sorry, why these all the supports? Oh, I know what happened. I did not disable the supports before I do the filtering. Okay, I know what happened. Okay, we have to disable all the support, and then do the filter. And then the filter will help me to filter out all the supports under a certain height, and then I enable these supports, and then exit. Now the supports, and then I do the slicing. Okay, now the print only has the supports that I'm filtered. All the supports that are not in the support filter are being ignored. So this is a very convenient way for you to edit, to find, to selectively activate or inactivate certain supports in a model. So basically, I believe this support editor is very powerful and maybe the most powerful support editor, on the market. All right, so this part is finished, and do we try another round of coupons? Or do we answer some new questions?
We can answer some new questions.
Tiertime, will you give up a specific layer, not Z value? For the vertical sections, if we can give out a specific layer instead of values of z-axis, well, it is actually a possible. It is possible, but it is kind of difficult to. It's like a chicken and egg question. So if you do not know the layer thickness of your setting, so it is difficult to know which layer is located at which height. So therefore, to make things more easier and more easy to understand, so we currently only allow you to choose a particular section using the z-axis coordinate instead of layer number. But if your main setting is like I want to use a 0.1 millimeter, and then you can kind of calculate based on the heights of the model, which layer is located at particular height. Then you can also do a little bit of calculation and set up the corresponding height to cover the layers you want. But it is not easy for the software to deduce, where a particular layer is located, but without knowing the layer thickness. All right, so another feedback is that we need to adjust the font or adjust the appearance of the software, right? So that make it more professional. Yeah, this is a good point, because all the interface are now only made by our programmers. We do not have a dedicated UX or interface artist for the software for now. So it may look less professional, but we will improve in the future. So, when you set up a new section, there is an error, can't save config. What does this error mean? I think in the later version, the can't save config file error is solved. So you can just ignore that. Can I clarify which of the time type machines that we will work with? So to clarify which Tiertime machines the UpStudio 3 will work, I think in the list of the printers here, the up plus first generation will very likely not working with the Obstacle 3 for now. Also, the mini first generation will also likely not compatible for now, but we are working on it. Apart from that, some very old up plus 2 and some very old up mini 2 may also have issues. Other than that, all the other models on the lower part of the list should work with the Up Studio 3. For any plans on the Cura settings for the Agent Up Mini 2 series? Well, for Cura settings, I think in the Facebook group, there are some users released Cura settings for using with the Up Mini or the Cetus or Up boxes. But we do not have an official Cura setting for our machines, because we think the Cura setting, the Cura default settings are not really 100% compatible with the machine. So user may need to know what kind of G codes they are generating, how to how to set up and do a lot of testings. So instead of trying to generate more trouble, then we just prefer not to release such settings. Okay, now we'll release some new coupons for buying Tiertime filaments for at 50% off, but you have to achieve an order value of $200. So what it means is you buy $200, then we give you $100 off, but the cart value have to exceed $200. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So buy 200 and off 100. The minimum cart value need to exceed 200 US dollar. And also very limited use of the coupon is available. So if you want to buy, use the coupon in the live chat. Okay. How about we show some samples of the dual extrusion?
This one.
Okay.
This 都要显示一下吗？
对。把这个。Okay, now we have two of the samples. One is printed in PLA and PVA. One is printed in PLA, but dissolved the support in water.
可以走过来，你可以走过来。能看清楚吗？
Okay. Now you see this very delicate bottle, dragon bottle. with a lot of holes on it. This is printed by a dual extrusion machine we are developing. This is the model with the supports. It's PLA with PVA.你再给他看一下这个，看一下这个，转一下那个轮子。This is also another model we print with the soluble support, and the whole structure is fully turnable. 转一下那个轮外边那个旁边那个，对 ，Yeah, it's fully turnable. Okay. Now I can show you a video that I made showing the dual extrusion machines in our lab. voice back. So as soon as the support is inside the water, you can see the support start to dissolve very quickly. So this is just the one I show you. Still some residues. Okay. Okay, no problem. Maybe I can also show you the new extruder head we are developing. 就是那个喷头。
但是刚刚听不见你说的话呀。现在你说我听不见。
现在可以吧？
不行。
现在可以，现在可以。
为啥我这个听不见呢？
Yeah, the extruder head is actually very comeback. This extruder head has two extruder motor, which feed filament into the same nozzle, into the single nozzle. So therefore, you do not need to do any nozzle alignment. Just use it like a single extruder printer. So we hope that we can provide a single extruder user experience, but actually it prints two materials. All right. So 可以了。All right. We will later release more infos about our new dual extrusion machines. So stay tuned. One asked how many hours does the support need to be dissolved. I think it is about 1 hour. Yeah. The 1 hour, it takes 1 hour for that particular model to dissolve like 99% of the support. And you can see there are some still some small amount of residues after I take it out from the tank, and I just then use the running water from the from the tap to remove the remaining residues, and the user experience is actually quite good for the support we are using. Yeah, it is just simply water. There is no need to add any alkaline or acidic additives. Just water, and the support is very easy to dissolve. Also, since the support is so sensitive to the water, we also added new heating chamber or the moisture-free filament chamber in the machine, so that a continuous hot air is supported to the filament chamber to prevent the moisture attack to the support filament in the new model. All right. So I think all the contents I planned today has delivered, but I think we still have some coupons. Okay. The last coupons is also the very I mean, we have two type of coupons.
Yes, for Mini 2 and for
Yeah, we have
300.
Yeah, we have two more coupons to give out. One is for Up Mini 2, and one is for Up 300. Yeah, the Up 300 also going to be discount for up to 50%, right?
Yes.
And we only have two Up 300 available. So if you want to upgrade to the latest model Up 300, then this is the time to do it. Save 1,000 US dollars on Up 300. Okay. All right. So good luck. So finally, we have a short Q&A section. If you still have any questions or any feedbacks, you are welcome to type it in the live chat. This is the last section of today's live stream.
这是它4个版本的比较，区别是什么？
不用管。来了。Okay, do you have any questions or feedbacks? XYZ dimension calibration. Okay, the dimensional calibration will be available in the wound module because it is a printer related function. In the slicer, in the Up Studio 3, the slicing, the slicer module, or we say that it will not include a calibration, any calibration functions. All the calibration things will be packed into the wound. Will it be possible to upgrade Up 300 to dual extrusion? Based on the information I have now, it is not possible to upgrade Up 300 single extrusion to dual extrusion because there are lots of difference in the machine. So even we provide the parts, it will be quite difficult to the user to do the upgrade. Therefore, we think that we will provide two models. One is the single extrusion version, and the other one is the dual extrusion version. For the dual extrusion model, it will be able to print single extruders and dual extruders. Just swap the extruder and change the slicer setting will do. But for the single extruder version, I mean, the current version of the UP 300, upgrading is not possible. Is there somewhere all the options explain? Well, for more detailed explanation of all the software settings, you can visit the knowledge base at support.tiertime.com. When you go to the knowledge base, just go to the software section. We have a specific section called Up Studio 3. Under that section, we have a comprehensive collection of articles explaining every printing parameters there. If you still have anything that not understand, you can also send emails to support@tiertime.com to open a support ticket. We will more than welcome to answer any Up Studio 3 related questions and feedbacks. OK， 没有了，那个不是什么。Dual extrusion will fit on Cetus Mark III. Sorry, the Cetus are not going to support dual extrusion in the near future because its electronics cannot support two extruder motor. If you would like to, but we are also considering, other than UP 300 and UP 600, which is a bigger machine, what kind of desktop machines can support the dual extruder head. We will have more news in the future. But what I can tell you and what will happen in the future is that we will have a new UP 300D and a bigger model called UP 600. Both of these printer models support dual extrusion, and both of them have these heated internal chambers to prevent the moisture attacking the support filaments. And both of them will be available in next year. How well does software plus dual extruder cope with different size nozzles with same material? Well, with same material. Well, we have also did a lot of testing for like printing the same material on the dual extruder, but with different colors. I think printing the same material on the two extruder with different colors is not a problem. It is its performance is very reliable, actually. But if you try to print two different material, then it may be less reliable than that, but still very user-friendly and very usable and reliable. Stack driver. Okay, so I think we can end today's live stream now, and thank you for attending this very long live streaming event, and hopefully you have got great discounts and the news and the infos you are interested in, and see you soon later. 拜拜。